G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Let's go. Posted by user EarthClassic230, titled, Would I be the arsehole if I didn't get my sister a wedding gift? Okay, so I, 25 male, am a wedding planner, so when my sister, 32 female, announced that she was getting married, most of our family, her included, assumed that I would help plan it for her. I initially didn't really want to, as her wedding is right in the middle of busy season, so I'd miss out on gigs that would pay. But then I decided that she's my sister, and this would be a good wedding gift and would just help with the wedding stress. She was happy when I agreed, and we started going over her plans and themes. I found some venues and we went to look at them. I took care of all the catering, so all she had to do was taste test and pick. I was also able to use my connections to get her special deals and stuff like that. At first it was pretty smooth, but as time went on it just got more and more stressful. She wouldn't communicate with anyone and almost got her photographer to quit. I had to convince him to stay. She'd constantly change her mind on things and then get mad that they were changed, as I should have known that she was just being indecisive and that I should have stuck with the first option. While I was setting up the registry, she told me that I could have first dibs on what gift I was getting her. I looked at her confused and said that my help planning was my gift. She then said that a lot of family helped out and they are still getting gifts. I told her that other family members helped move furniture or lend me their car to pick up supplies. I was doing most of the work and missing out on actually getting paid helping her. She said she's grateful for my help, but that this wouldn't really constitute a gift unless I was paying for things like the dress or the venue. And she said it didn't matter when I brought up that my connections have literally saved her thousands when you add them up. She's now calling me cheap and is getting our family involved. I don't know what she told them, as they won't tell me, but they keep saying how selfish I am to make my sister's big day all about me. If I could afford it, I wouldn't mind getting her something, but the cheapest thing in the registry is almost $200, and I'm not well off. Plus my loss of income, I can't afford something like that right now. I want to support her, but I don't think I'm going to get her a gift. Would I be the asshole if I didn't? Honestly, no. If the cheapest thing on her registry is $200 and she's not paying you for this, she can go shove that up her ass. It is insane to be demanding so much of you when you're not being paid for this. I don't really have much else to say that isn't abusing your sister, so I'm gonna go not the asshole for this one, OP. In the comments, Pleasant Koala 147 says, not the asshole. Make an itemized bill for her outlining the hours you've spent, the income you've lost by turning down paid gigs, and the savings you got her through your contacts. Print the final total in big, bold numbers, then print gifted in red letters across the front. Frame it and put it on a stand at the gift table at her wedding so everyone can see how generous you've been. Anyone tries to argue that you've been selfish, tell them to read it out loud. If they accuse you of being petty, tell them that it wouldn't have been necessary if it had been appreciated by the bride and themselves. I'd even go a step further and give her this bill. Say if she wants a registry gift, she can pay this, lol, not the asshole. OP, this is the way. A lot of people don't realize just how much work something like event planning is. Not just that, a real family member would be supporting his small business by paying his rates. I had a press-on nail business for a little bit and expected family to ask for free nails, but they gave orders and actually paid more than I quoted. Not the asshole in any way, shape, or form. Your time is valuable, and you sound like you've put a lot of effort into helping her with her wedding. She has offered you nothing in return at all, actually when a wedding planner would normally be very expensive. I think that is a lovely gift to give someone, and if she's going to flip out on you for not getting her a material item, then it shows how much she values your time. What an asshole. Here is the gift you should give her. Add up all of your time and what you would charge a normal client, put it in an invoice, and write free of charge because I love you next to the total charge. Buy a lovely wedding card and insert the invoice into the card and give it to her. Then she will see what you got her for her wedding, which I expect will be a damn sight more than anyone else got her. This has now made me angry, and I'm going to angrily boil the kettle and make tea like a proper English person would in this situation. And now, onto the update. I took some of your advice, but didn't go as extreme as I think some of you are hoping I would. Sorry, but I can be a bit of a people pleaser, and I don't want to ruin what is supposed to be a happy moment in her life. I put together a list of everything I had done, including all the discounts I had gotten her. I'm not sure if she knew they were discounts as I didn't say they were discounts. I was saying things like, I have been able to get you a quote of X amount from Y for Z, as well as stating what I would normally charge for a wedding this size. I then texted her to ask if we could get some lunch and talk. When she arrived, I showed her the list and explained that I'm not asking her to pay this, but wanted her to see how much I'm helping her and how much money I'm losing by doing her wedding instead of taking on a client who would pay. At first, she was shocked at the amount and accused me of lying to try and make her feel bad. I was able to show her bills from other weddings that I had done before, and a quick Google search showed that my prices are pretty average. She had never looked up any wedding planner or their rates because she assumed I was always going to do it. She said she thought it wasn't that much, as I didn't seem to be well off. I told her that while it does pay well, I can't take on crazy amounts of clients since I need to give quality service, and that I might not always get clients all year. Plus, I have a few medical expenses that can take out a large chunk. She said I still must have some money saved up. I said I do, but that I would be having to use it to cover my bills and stuff since my income is taking a hit due to taking on her wedding. After a while of insisting that some of the items on her registry aren't that expensive, she relented. I wouldn't have to get her anything since I had gotten her enough discounts to qualify as a gift, and that she was grateful for my help and services. Honestly, I didn't know how much this was stressing me until the relief washed over me. I was thankful that this was over and we could continue with planning her wedding. I asked her to clear things up with our family as they won't talk to me about it. She agreed and sent a group text explaining that the gift incident was just a misunderstanding and that we have talked it out and cleared things up. For those who were saying that her registry seems very expensive, her new husband, his family, friends, and a lot of her friends are very wealthy, and she makes sure that our parents and other close family are taken care of, so she has kind of become disconnected from people with normal financial status like me. There's a lot of things on the list like designer handbags, clothes, shopping sprees, dinners, and even a car and second home on there. The cheaper items are some simple jewelry that she liked. She paid for my part of the lunch as an apology, and since I'm struggling and things are all good now, I think. Thanks, everyone. In the comments, Wienerworld says, she thought your work wasn't worth much because you were poor, so she expected you to do it for free and also come up with the money for a gift? Glad you set her straight, OP. Oh, it's worse. Wedding planner must not be a good paying job because OP seems so poor. However, at the same time, she's all sure OP gets paid enough that she's got major leisure savings accounts that she can dip into. How on earth can someone be poor and rich at the same time, lady? She has a designer purse and a vacation home on her wedding registry? OP replies, she does. It's kind of insane to me at least, but she insisted that it was normal for people like her. Lamau, it's not. Ultra-wealthy parents or grandparents may gift a couple their first home or similar, but random guests, even amongst uber-wealthy, are not gifting real estate. Even designer bags are really, really gauche. She doesn't know what she thinks she does. It's actually really funny. Wow. The audacity to say, well, sure, you saved me thousands of dollars, but I'm sure you can afford to get me something off the registry, therefore you must still get me a gift. What a piece of work. I know, the audacity. I think she was still acting awful during the whole discussion of the wedding planning details that were laid out by OP. Oh, your services can't possibly cost that much. You're just lying to make me look bad. Oh, it really does cost that much? Then you must be rich, and you can afford to buy me an expensive gift in addition to providing me all of your professional services for free. And then when she finally caves and basically says, okay, I'll accept all of the amazing work you were doing for me, but still takes it for granted and makes life difficult. For example, poor communication with photographer and others, poor OP is relieved. I think cis bride is so self-absorbed and entitled, if I were OP, I would probably start distancing myself from her. And honestly, I would too if I were OP. She doesn't sound like someone that is particularly nice to have in your life. Sounds like someone you go low contact with, at least. Let her live in her own land of grand delusion. I wouldn't need that on my plate if I were you. Anyway, guys, what do you think of this one? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Our next post is by user ThrowRA on Ship, titled, My husband, 35 male, demanded that I, 29 female, stop cooking for friends. So my husband and I have been married for 3 months. He comes from a much more traditional background than I do. When we were dating, he swept me off my feet. We went out for dinners, lovely vacations, and he bought me numerous care packages. He works as an executive and makes good money. Last year, I started a baked goods side hustle. It brings me so much joy. I ended up becoming really busy, made more friends, and now I'm way more social. My husband has become angry that I cook and spend evenings with my girlfriends. It's maybe 1 to 2 nights a week, and I really don't see people much outside of that. He said I'm not a good wife and he feels used. When I said I was going to buy a car with my own money, he became even angrier. He refused to pay for groceries and said that I need to contribute more money. So now with working, cooking lunch and dinner, it's become exhausting. How could I reason with my husband? I feel like I've grown a lot and he's not happy. Yeah, that's because he doesn't have you completely under his control anymore, OP. You were able to finally carve yourself out a niche in life, financially and socially, after he spent so much time love-bombing you and distancing you from support systems, as well as not having a car that you can drive? Because from the way you put it, it seems as though he isolates you at home with no car. And as soon as you want to buy a car, he's like, you know what? Let's just make sure she can't afford it because I'm going to make her pay for everything. Classic manipulative tactics from this man. He sounds like a real piece of work. Anyway, in the comments, Peak Penguin says, quote, he said I'm not a good wife and he feels used. I'd be interested in hearing him explain in detail how you are not being a good wife, by spending time with people who aren't him, doing things that aren't for him. And I would want to know about how her baking and cooking makes him feel used. Is he an oven? OP replies, he keeps telling me that he's unhappy, which is strange, because I've been really happy and bubbly. He says I'm not pulling my weight because I don't cook as much. He stopped buying food for us, so it's been more work to keep up. You're happy outside of his influence. That makes him unhappy, and he is trying to manipulate you by telling you that you are a bad wife. That's BS. Eek! One being happy when the other person is out of the picture is a big, big red flag. The reality is, your husband wants a traditional wife. He wants a woman whose sole existence is to serve him and his family. Your role is to cook for him, take care of him, bear and rear as many or as few kids as he desires, and put up with whatever he wants. He makes a bunch of money and he feels as though it's his right as not only a man, but a successful man. I get everyone on Reddit telling you not to tolerate it, and you shouldn't, but you need to be hyper-realistic about the situation you're in. He isn't going to change. There is no point trying to convince him. If you try to change him, one of 2, or I guess 3 things are going to happen. He will leave you, cheat on you, or become violent. He has already become angry with you for beginning to challenge him, so do not doubt the possibility that he will become physical. You need to simply decide if your and his views on what a marriage should be are compatible, and they very well may not be. But if this isn't what you want, you need to make plans to leave, not plans to stand up for him. Otherwise, you may be in physical danger, or at a minimum left in a situation with no plan. He may become vengeful in a divorce and do everything he can to take everything from you and leave you with even less than you came into the marriage with. I can't impress upon you that the choices are either accept the marriage that he wants or do not say anything until you're in a position to quickly and safely leave. And OP replies, thank you. I'm realizing it's worse than I thought. He's been acting strangely, like booking vacations without telling me, threatening to have an open marriage, all because I haven't been cooking in the last month and not putting any effort into our marriage. I guess I didn't want to say it, but he has started yelling over things as well. We dated for 1.5 years, and a lot of this stuff is out of character. I guess I'll quietly make a decision without him. It is not out of character. This is the real him. What he was before was a lie, a farce and a mask. The mean, threatening, controlling, abusive person is the real him. You need to accept that the love-bombing phase was a complete lie. Who he is now is the real him. I'm sorry. Narcissistic abusers usually make it through about 1 to 2 years of love-bombing before the mask slips, and when you're wearing rose-tinted glasses, it's easy to miss the red flags. He thought he was on a good path to isolating you and making you fully dependent on him as he molded you into the perfect little wifey. You haven't been fully broken yet, and now that you've demonstrated that you can be independent and happy without him, he is panicking and threatening you with anything he can to get you back in line. Please get all of your important documents and possessions moved out without him knowing, and set up a bank account that he doesn't know about and can't access. Once you can safely leave, get out while he's not home, because it's almost guaranteed that his abuse will escalate, especially if he realizes that you're leaving him. Please don't become a true crime story. And now, onto the update. Hi Reddit, I posted a few months ago here. And wow, I wasn't expecting such an outpouring of support and comments from all of you. I read all of your comments and kept coming back to the page. I wanted to update earlier, but I needed to give myself time. Things have been really messy and hectic, and I had a hard time thinking anything through. I really tried to reason with my husband. I just couldn't get through to him. Any conversation would turn to him saying, "You said you love me, but your actions don't match." Or the silent treatment, or him suddenly saying I'm not bringing in enough money, etc., etc. I spent so much time crying and curled into a ball, shaking from anxiety, that eventually I just became numb. I finally decided to take a break and moved in with a friend of mine. It's been a month. It's hard and it sucks. My husband says that now he can safely date other people and that these other women are less demanding and treat him better. He keeps reminding me that I've put on a little bit of weight and that he wants someone who is healthier. So for me, I've been focusing on work and spending time with my friends. I don't know what will happen with my husband or if he will ever come around. I know it's not exactly a perfect update, but this is where I am. Unfortunately, I don't have my baking supplies, but I'm hoping in the future I'll be more settled. Thanks again, Reddit. In the comments, Constant Cultural says, "OP, try to get an annulment of this marriage. This man was and never will be a good husband to you. You were his maid and nothing more." Quote, "My husband says that he can now safely date other people and that these other women are less demanding and treat him better." That just sounds like a narcissist trying to coax you to come back by showing you all the other juicy narcissist's victims ready to come play with him. He doesn't get that this is rather repulsive. And you don't get by now, OP, what a huge favor he would do you if he really moved on and left you alone. Already told you back then to grow serious saber-toothed tiger's teeth and bite back. Wish him best of luck with his new easygoing harem. He expects you to cry and grovel to be allowed to crouch back under His Majesty's protective wings. That's how he views himself. Leather Opinion says, "So not only did he make you feel horrible, made you cry, fat-shame you and try to manipulate you, he's also trying to make you crawl back to him at his beck and call and make you jealous. These are his true colors, OP. You've built something for yourself that you love to do outside of your relationship and made friends that he is angry about that. He's angry because you have accomplished something. He's angry that you are happy and that you have friends. He can't do anything. I still don't understand what he meant by 'you love me, but your actions don't match.' Like how? What have you supposedly done that your actions of love don't match when you say it? How did he feel used when you started your business and go out with friends? Well, let me tell you, he didn't. He's just mad at you because you've done something for yourself and you were successful and happy, and he is jealous of that. He's just trying to find things to start problems that don't even need to be there. You deserve better than him, and since you guys are separated, he thinks he can cheat on you? You don't need that from him. Also, you are a beautiful person inside and out. Don't let his words about your body get to you. If he wants a skinny girl, then by all means let him have a skinny girl. It's okay if you've put on a little bit of weight, bigger girls are better. To be honest, you really need to have a conversation with him on why he feels this way and resents you. If he still ignores you and doesn't want to do anything to fix things with you, just divorce him. A man like that will never come around. And OP replies, "His true colors are here. He isn't who he used to be. We went from such a happy dating life. He was so generous and always treated me for meals and vacations, and he was emotionally available and always willing to listen. I didn't see the red flags because I thought it was because of his culture. He said, 'Oh, your financial background is very, very bad. My family won't accept you.' I believed him because I don't have a formal education. I blamed myself for being so anxious and needy, but when I healed my anxious attachment style, I became a healthier and happier version of myself. Then the wheels really fell off. So basically, this is a very long response to say thank you. I needed this thread. I come back to hear positive words like yours, telling me I'm worth more and still beautiful, even from the stress of overeating. So thank you. Thank you. Dudefluencer says, and let's be honest, based on 95% of Reddit threads I've seen here, when the husband says he can safely date other people and that these other women are less demanding and treat him better, he's lying, and will have a rude awakening once OP starts dating again. What do you mean? A successful woman who is also a part-time model will have such a hard time finding someone to date. Seriously though, she'll find someone far better now that she knows some red flags to watch out for. And hopefully decide not to get married again for a long time. I know they dated for a year and a half, but she's young and it's so much harder to get out of a marriage than a serious relationship. Dating for only a year and a half is very, very short when getting to know someone enough to make them your life partner. I said similar in a thread that got removed at OP's request, and someone acted like I was being arbitrary when my comment was in regards to my ex-husband marrying too fast. He's still my friend, and we only dated for 6 months and got married. He dated his second wife for a year, and she was insecure and controlling even before the marriage. I explained to him he needs to address his trauma and insecurities first, and fix his attachment style, and finish his divorce before considering dating again. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.